everyone, and welcome back to Icewind Dale. Thank you for joining us today. We are going to go get started in just a moment. I want to thank you all for joining us, and we're going to go ahead and get started with some character intros, and then we'll go ahead and start this lovely game. First up, we've got Court.
Hello, I am Court. I play Charlotte, the Warforged cleric, and you can find me on my Twitter at Court Games.
Good evening. My name is John. I play Zarius, the Vidalcan wizard. Pleasure to have you guys here. Hopefully we'll have some fun tonight.
Hello, I'm Mew. I play Terpsichore, or Yuan-Ti Pure Blood Rogue, and y'all can find me on Twitter as Spaghetti.
Last but not least, I am Momo, and I am the DM for this campaign, Rime of the Frostmaiden here. And this is Mistral, our mascot for the channel. Through her, we're able to share tales from this realm and beyond. So we'll go ahead and get started. And we last had left off in Icewind Dale. Who would like to do the recap?
Oh goodness, I'll give it a shot. We reached one of 10 towns, Easthaven, finally. We had been pursuing a goal in 10 towns for some time, namely trying to rescue a wizard who was being sacrificed, as the party understood it, for the auspice of Oral, in the endeavor to remove the eternal night, or at least lessen it, so to speak. We arrived in Easthaven. The ever too logical Zarius went straight to the town guard and told them that the sacrifices were unnecessary. That went about as well as you would expect, and we received some bits of information about the nature of the sacrifice, that it was supposed to be an honor, that the wizard was put there by a tiefling that most of us recognize as Avarice, and that the wizard was supposedly there as a result of killing his adventuring party. After being pulled away by Terpsichore and Charlotte, for the aforementioned obvious reasons of pissing off the guard captain, they eventually made their way to the inn, the White Lady Inn specifically, where we met Bartaban, the bartender. He informed us of a seance that was going on, and the party decided to join him and get some rooms. We joined the seance, and there was a halfling who was doing the seance, and instead of contacting a ghost who is supposed to haunt the lake where her husband drowned with a chest full of riches, we instead reached out to the wizard, who was currently a prisoner inside of Easthaven. After a fairly thorough conversation, we decided to rescue him, and as a result, the party set out, and with a bit of wizardry from Zarius and some distraction from Terpsichore, Mistral, and Charlotte as they stabled their axe beaks, we were able to get Dizon out of his prison, leaving a simulacrum of himself behind. He eventually joined us at the inn after making his escape, and we had a fairly extended conversation with him regarding his goals, the nature of the organization he worked for, the Arcane Brotherhood, as well as the other wizards who seemed to be working for or against him, or had made some sort of pact to search out the ancient nethery city of Yithrin. He eventually left us, returning to a wizard tower, which he apparently owned, which came as a fairly large surprise to both the characters Arius and the player John, because fucking a whole ass wizard tower in Icewind Dale, oh my gosh. And that is basically where we ended things. Everyone going to sleep, had a few moments of adorable or comforting role play as the party tried to figure out what was going on, and I believe we ended there, passing out inside the White Lady Inn.
Very good, very thorough. And for you, good sir, you can have some DM inspiration for
Oh, hell
a
yeah.
most lovely recap.
Love me some DM inspiration.
It's like, we haven't handed out some DM inspiration in a hot minute. Let's get some of that for my good friends here, right?
I have checked marked my inspiration box.
Hell yeah, love that for you. Love that for you. So, let's go on over to our Easthaven map. And I do believe we ended either right as you all were heading to bed, or right as you all were waking up. So, is there anything anybody would like to do before you head to bed?
I think I had one more slot for sending, and we wanted to talk to Sefik.
All
Yeah.
right. Very well. Go ahead and send a message to your faraway friend.
Alright. Hello, Sefik. I hope the night finds you well. We have all made it safely to Easthaven, and well, we've done away with the execution for now. No one real will be being harmed. I hope to see you soon. Be safe. Love, Charlotte.
So you're able to send this message off, and you get back a message. Just a bit strange. You hear a series of grunts, grumbles. Charlotte. And that's about all you get for your message. The voice sounds very, you can tell that it's Sefik, but your guy definitely does not sound okay. Definitely does not sound okay. The one word you get out of him, your name, feeling as though it's almost a question. The man sounding quite confused as he responds to you.
Could I make like a medicine check or something to see if like he's in pain, or if he's like, is he like sleepy, or is he like
okay.
drunk, or is he in pain?
Roll me insight
Okay.
or perception.
Can I guide myself?
You can guide yourself. Girl, you're always guiding yourself.
Yeah.
Just imagine she just takes guidance, like slaps her chest. She's just like, let's go. Like, like I got this.
Okay, so, and you want me to roll insight?
Perception, actually.
Okay, perception.
Yes,
it's the same
please.
modifier.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that's 19 plus 3, so 22.
All right. So with the 22, you were able to tell from the sound of his voice, and you've traveled with him quite a many times before, or traveled alongside him, I should say, quite a many times before, and you know Sefik's sleepy voice, which you've heard many times. You know his pained voice, which you've also heard many times, and while you can tell that this voice is most definitely coming from him, it does not sound like any voice of his you've heard before. It does not sound like a voice of his that's sleepy, drunk, or pained. It sounds confused and strangely foreign, while still you can tell that this is his voice.
Okay, that is concerning to her, so she's gonna kind of like gather the others and tell them like what she heard back from him. He didn't sound as if he was in pain or asleep, but there's something not right with his voice. He sounded confused almost. I don't know where he is, but I'm concerned.
That's not good. And he didn't tell us where he was going.
Do any of you have any sort of way of figuring out where he might be? He didn't tell me where he was, but...
No, not unless he happens to be within 1,000 feet of us, and even then I have to wait until tomorrow, unfortunately.
Mistral.
Did say he would make his way here, but...
Mistral looks at you and... I got nothing. I'm sorry. Nothing that can do that kind of stuff. What about you, Terpsy? Are you good at finding people?
No, not really. I also don't go out looking for people. I'm not at all well versed in magic. So there's I have no magic that can do that. I can maybe try asking the dead if they can look for him, but I don't know how well that's gonna work out.
Well, I think you're very magical for one. So, don't you say that. And sure, I mean, why not? What do you guys think?
We don't really have any sort of alternative. I don't see how it could hurt.
Worth a try. My only recourse was going to be something similar, reaching out to my god.
Why don't we do it all? I mean, I can call upon a servant that no one can see, but I don't think they're gonna be much help in this situation.
Strala, anything you're able to do?
She looks over at you, her her tone and kind of vibe, which was very softened from the recent
Contact.
situation and contact with you and with her with little Belle is gone now by this time. She's back to her usual kind of cross face and just very stern look, and she kind of shoots you a look and, "No, Zarius, the only one I have a tracking device for is you." And she just smiles at you.
Alright, fair enough. Wait, you have a tracking device for me?
She just kind of winks at you, which is strange, seeing her wink, you know.
I suppose I can't be totally lost then. That's actually somewhat comforting, but also concerning at the same time. Alright.
Yes, you can run, but you certainly cannot hide. And she grins kind of widely at you.
You say that, but there are ways to prevent divination. What if I teleport? No, he stops mid-sentence. I don't need to give her any more anxiety.
She kind of crosses her arms and she's like, "Try me if you wish."
I don't want to. I'm genuinely glad that you're here.
Well, that makes one of us. I'm going to bed, if that's all right.
I see we've returned to baseline grumpy. All right, then.
It's been a long day. Then she kind of stretches out, and she has her armor off by this point, kind of next to the bed, and she scoots down in the blanket, and she goes to sleep.
That's a mistake. DM's not done with us yet.
Well, it's going to be a longer one still. Terpsichore, did you want to try reaching out to your friends?
Yes, it wouldn't hurt to try.
If
And
he's somewhere in Icewind Dale, which I suspect he may be, they might have more of a hand on things than someone more removed from the area.
yeah, I guess I can try and ask if they can like find where he is and then come find me again. And that might work.
It's worth a try.
All right, so Tercy's gonna sit there and close her eyes and try to talk to a dead man or woman or animal, whatever comes first.
Kind of just reaching out to what's out there on the other side of that thin veil here in Icewind Dale. So, Terpsy, go ahead and... Oh, let's see. Go ahead and roll me a... Go ahead and roll me a perception check. Or you know what? Go ahead and... Yeah, let's do that. Let's do this. Yeah.
Perception?
Or persuasion check.
Persuasion. Awesome.
Let's do a persuasion check as you try to persuade the spiritual beings around you to aid you in this moment.
It is a 15.
All right. So, you guys watch as Terpsichore kind of closes her eyes and she's kind of very still. Just, you start to reach out, sensing who or what may be around. And in this most haunted place, you notice, as you kind of open your eyes slowly, that within your current room, there's 4 ghosts currently just kind of hanging out. Very chill, just kind of lounging here. There's one that's just like hanging from the ceiling, like can't be bothered. Another that's just leaning up against the wall. You see one just lying on the floor and one that's just pacing in the corner. What would you like to do?
She's gonna talk to the one that's leaning against the wall.
Alright.
Trying not to get too close to the one that's pacing.
Alright. So you reach out to the one that's leaning against the wall, not getting too close to the pacing one, and let me go ahead and do this. Alright, so as you go ahead and get closer to the one that's leaning against the wall, the one that's pacing does not notice you. The one that's kind of hanging from the ceiling, upside down, their eyes kind of follow you, and you can feel their eyes kind of following as you approach the one leaning against the wall. The one lying on the floor, their eyes look up to you for a moment, your eyes kind of meeting theirs, and they look away disinterested. You approach the one leaning against the wall, and what do you say?
Excuse me, could I spare a moment of your time?
The spirit looks at you quickly and very kind of confused and surprised. You can see me.
Yes, I can see you. And I, if you don't mind, would like to ask your help with something.
You can see me. I will help you. So you can help me too?
Oh, yeah.
She, like, turns to you, no longer leaning against the wall, places her hands on your shoulder, but you don't feel anything. And her eyes just kind of gazing into yours. Okay, I'll do you one favor, and you do me one favor. How does that sound?
That sounds pretty fair.
Okay. Me first. I've been waiting here a long time, and that little halfling downstairs is so obsessed with the White Lady. Doesn't seem to care to help any of the rest of us. My sister, she stays here at the inn, and she's waiting for me, but as you can see, I'm not really coming back. Can you tell her that I'm not coming back anymore? And she just starts like breaking down, sobbing, looking at you, pleading eyes.
Yes, of course I could tell her that. What's her name? What's your name? What do you want me to tell her?
Her name is her name is Danica, and my name is Shirley. And I just she looks a lot like me, except she's a little bit shorter. She's staying on the first floor in room 103. And I don't like this town, and I think that it's dangerous for her here, so she should, if you could, tell her that I'm not coming back, and maybe she can go to another town and find some happiness there or something. It's much too dangerous here. And she looks so terrified.
Of course, absolutely. I will find her, and I will tell her this, okay?
Okay, thank you so much. Wow, I have been here a long time. Oh, you're the best. What is it that you need?
I was hoping that if you're able to, could you help us find our friend Sefik? He is supposed to be meeting us here. We last saw him in Cairconeg, which is where we saw the note where he was like, hey, if I'm not here, I'll meet you guys in Easthaven, or if you guys aren't here, we'll meet you, whatever. But my friend over here sent him a message and says that he does not sound very good at all, and we are very worried about him.
Okay, well, what does he look like? I don't think I've ever heard of this gentleman before. He's not a resident of this place. Is he handsome?
Well, he's not my type, but I do think some people would think he's handsome.
Oh, well, I suppose it doesn't really matter given my state of, well, all right, how tall is he? What color hair does he have? Does he have a kind face or an angry one, or what type of clothes does he wear?
Am I hearing the other side of this conversation?
You are not. You are just hearing Terpsichore.
Oh, okay.
You see Terpsichore over by the wall, talking to someone that you can't see. Or maybe she's talking to herself. Who knows, dude? Like...
So Zarius is just confused and would not offer us. Got it. Okay. Thanks.
He's just like, she's doing some freaky stuff. Maybe? Like, can she talk to ghosts? Is this all... Like, what is this? Like, you can think whatever you'd like to about that, buddy. Whatever Zarius would think about the situation.
Terpsy's gonna describe Sefik as best she can, because I know she remembers everything about what Sefik looks like.
Yeah.
And Mew does not.
That's fine.
But, she will say that I know, because I remember that. Yeah, is like really boring and obviously looks like he's gonna be really boring, but he wears like pretty fancy clothes. But he's also like kind of homeless.
Oh my god.
Tepsico, who are you talking about?
It's Sethik, obviously.
Thank you, Charlotte.
Can I minor illusion what Sethik looks like? He
Sure.
doesn't look homeless. What are you talking about?
The ghost looks towards Charlotte. You watch. She looks over towards Charlotte and Zarius and oh, can they see me too? She starts to run towards Charlotte and Zarius. You watch as she's just like waving her hands like in front of them. Hello, my name is Shirley, and she starts to kind of introduce herself to the rest.
Shirley, they can't see you. I didn't know that they couldn't see ghosts, so I think it's weird that they can't see ghosts, but they cannot see you.
Oh,
We are the weird ones for not being able to see ghosts. Yes.
Is her name is Shirley?
Yes. This is Shirley. She is dead.
she's
We have to
waving
find-
again.
We have to find her sister, who's here in the inn, to tell her that Shirley's dead and to leave Easthaven because it's really dangerous here.
And she's nodding. She's like,
Charlotte's mouth goes from like a smile to like a frown to like slack-jawed, like, oh my god.
How?
I am very sorry to hear about your loss. We will do our best to reunite the two of you if we are able.
And she looks towards you and she like bows to you and she's like, thank you so much. Tell her I said thank you. She can't see me, can she?
She cannot see you, but I will tell her. Charlotte, she says thank you.
You are very welcome. Sorry, this feels a little bit strange.
Got more people who need to be resurrected.
I mean, we could have even more people. There's like 3 other ghosts in here, Zarius.
How many
What?
ghosts are around you at all times, out of curiosity?
What are the other ghosts doing?
Well, Charlotte, to answer you first, there's one hanging out on the roof. One is laying on the floor, not the roof, the ceiling. It's like hanging from the ceiling, having fun, you know. Let them do let them do their own thing, you know. There's this one that's laying on the floor, and then there's that person that I don't know if I want to talk to because they're kind of just pacing, and I don't know if I want that kind of energy. Zarius, to answer your question, I'm not sure because I'm not consciously aware of who's dead and who's not dead until I'm actually trying to like talk to the dead people.
How do you interact with the world? I am so very confused right now.
Well, I wake up and then I see people and I talk to them.
You don't know if they're alive or dead, though.
I mean, most of the time they're alive, unless I'm specifically looking to talk to somebody that's dead.
I was alive. I was alive once.
I think you're making it much more complicated than it needs to be. I talk to dead people and living people. And I can also talk to snakes. That's it. I feel like that's that's pretty good.
Wow.
Pretty easy to follow.
Wow, snakes too.
Can you talk to dead snakes?
I've never tried. And she starts to look like visibly upset about that. She's like, damn it, how have I never tried to talk to a dead snake?
Well, I mean, you don't know that, do you? Perhaps some of the snakes you've talked to in the past have been dead?
I was only consciously aware that I was seeing dead people after I came here, and there's not really snakes in Icewind Dale. I really want to find those giant ice lizards. I want to be their friend.
I really want to.
Sirius is just sitting there like this. Okay, right. I can't deal with this. It's too late in the evening.
Do you think I should try again? I have one more opportunity at this.
Unless there's something else you'd like to use it on, I don't see why not.
Shirley did say that she would help us. So we have that at least.
That is true. What do you think I should ask? I mean, I could ask where he is. He sounded confused.
Yes, I would ask him, tell us your location, or where did you go? Something to that effect, I suppose.
Okay, alright. She's going to cast sending her final time towards Suffolk. And she's going to say, Suffolk, this is Charlotte. Where are you? If you don't know where you are, please tell me where you are headed. We are in Easthaven. We're trying to find you and bring you back.
There's a pause after you send your message, and you hear that strange growling, grumbling, grunting again. And this time, you do get some more words from your friend. Charlotte, I'm coming to Easthaven. They kind of, their words sound struggled as almost as a fight. Not that he's fighting with, like mid-battle, but he's fighting to get the words out. And you hear more grunts and grumbles after he's able to get some words to you.
There's something very wrong. He said that he's headed to Easthaven, but he doesn't sound clear in his messages. He sounds like he's fighting against something, just fighting to even get the words out.
That is disturbing. Don't. He said did he say he made it to Easthaven, or he was heading to Easthaven?
He said he was going to Easthaven, right?
Yes, he said that he was coming to Easthaven.
He said he was on his way.
Which means he's potentially injured.
He didn't sound like he was in pain. It was almost as if it was difficult for him to speak, though I can't imagine why. Whatever it is, this has me very worried for whatever has a hold on him.
Don't like that at all.
Well, we're going to be leaving Easthaven, at least for leaving the gates, tomorrow, yes, to check out that cauldron that Tepsicoil heard about. Perhaps we could search for him. Did we want to be in Easthaven while the execution is happening?
I thought we couldn't leave right now because the execution's about to happen. They closed the gates like within the week that the execution's gonna happen, right?
Pish posh, I have fly. I'll just push ourselves over the wall. It's fine.
Wait, are the gates closed right now, or are they closing? When are they closing?
They're not closed quite yet. Your dwarven friend at the stables said that they would be closing tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
Yes. So if you wanted to leave, you would have to leave, it's nighttime now, so come morning, sometime between morning and I would say afternoon to be safe. You would need to leave. Other than that, they would be closing up the gates and all would be kind of kept in Easthaven until the night of the sacrifice, which after the sacrifice they would open the gates.
We'll have to leave tomorrow morning to be safe. That's the only time we could potentially leave, at least through the most direct path.
All right. I don't see what else we can do. We need to find Civic. I'm very much unwilling to leave someone who, before we started to gain power and influence here in 10 Towns, helped us so much.
Yes, I'm not comfortable with leaving him out there like that.
He said he sounds confused and
Confused.
not in pain, but
Strained. No, I've heard a Suffolk in pain, and it doesn't sound like that. It sounded like he was fighting to talk.
Why would he be having issues speaking?
My guess is perhaps paralysis, either by something more physical or magical means. Should have told him not to travel alone.
We tried to warn him. He left on his own. That's not. Maybe they'll listen to us next time.
I hope that there is next time. I would very much like to scold him right now. Just anything to... I don't know.
We're definitely going to find him. Alright. Question.
Yes.
Have we heard the name Danica before?
You've not.
Okay.
Oh, I do have to check out the inn because the last dead person I talked to said that there was someone like me here. And I need to be positive that he's not talking about the halfling that did the seance, which apparently, according to Shirley, all he does is summon the white lady and not anyone else. And that's rude.
Yes, we have all tried to talk with him so many times, but he sees me. I know it. He just ignores me. It's terrible.
Should we go ask him if there's a reason he ignores all of your other...
Serious, I
Ghost
didn't even
friends?
talk to ghosts.
I'm sorry, shit, yeah, you're right, my bad. God damn it, sorry.
I'm
Absolutely
sorry,
terrible.
John.
It's an absolutely terrible man. I'll ask why he doesn't talk to you guys because it's not nice that he doesn't talk to you guys. You're all hanging out here, it's fun to have friends that are dead, like for dead people to have friends that are alive, and for living people to have friends that are dead.
It's fun. You think it's fun?
You said that.
She looks so happy.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of fun.
Oh wow, that makes me so happy. I didn't ever think I would meet anybody like you. A lot of rumors have spread about the halfling that does the seances, and that's why a lot of the and she kind of nods to the different ghosts in the room. That's why a lot of us are here, I mean, my sister's staying here. It's a little different, but others have flocked to this place in hopes to get some help because he's the only one that we've been aware of that can do what you can do as well.
Really? And Terpsy turns to look at the other ghosts in the room. She's like, do you guys need help with stuff?
The one that's pacing looks at you over their shoulder and then looks back, just kind of has like a disgruntled look on their face and continues pacing. The one that's hanging from the ceiling upside down, kind of slides slowly like down the wall, like upside down, looking at you, and then they kind of slide face up looking at you, and they kind of give you like a look over, and they look over at Shirley, and they kind of whisper to Shirley, but you can definitely hear it. And why do you think she's gonna help us? That halfwit downstairs can't and doesn't help us. What makes you think she's any different? And he like looks at you and kind of slowly like slides away. The one that's laying on the floor continues to lay on the floor, just looking now up over in your direction, almost as if awaiting your response from the disgruntled one.
I mean, I'm asking if you guys want help because I want to help. The past few times I've communed with the dead, they've helped me, and you want to know what? I want to be able to help them back.
The one that's lying on the floor gets up very slowly, walking over to you, and in a hushed voice, they whisper to you, I'm from Brynchander. And I don't remember anything else anymore. And then they kind of look down to the ground. Like, you get the feeling and the vibe from this particular spirit that they've been here a very long time. And they kind of give the vibe that they've forgotten, like, why they're here, you know, and what it is that they were doing here.
Have we been to Brynchander? Or did we just
have
go
not.
past it? Yeah.
Brynchander's the main town. Also, congratulations, Momo. You made me shiver with that absolutely awful description of that fucking ghost crawling along the wall and down the fucking... Yeah.
Hey, this is a horror campaign, buddy.
No, it's not. We've managed to make it happy-go-lucky for a while, and... Yeah.
Well, I feel very accomplished if I can give you the heebie-jeebies.
I'm now very glad that Zarius did not see that shit. No lie.
Brynchander. We haven't headed to Brynchander yet, but I do know that we did have plans on going over there. It wouldn't be a problem if you just like came with us and we wait to see if anything helps you remember why you came here in the first place.
The spirit looks back up to you as you mention this, them coming along with, and you see, just for a moment, you see like a glint of hope in their eyes as they kind of silently nod, and they go back to their place on the floor. And her eyes don't move off of you. She keeps her face kind of facing towards you, you get the feeling that she has accepted your invitation to travel alongside you lovely folks.
Are you having ghosts follow us now?
Well, they don't remember anything past being from Brinshander, and they came over here for a reason, surely saying that a lot of ghosts have been coming over here because whatever his name was is the only person that they know of that can commune with the dead, but he is obsessed with the white lady for whatever God's forsaken reason. And you know what? It seems like they've been here for a really long time. And maybe if they come with us, they'll remember stuff. And, we can, help them out with whatever.
Cool. Okay, so, ghost, got it. Alright, ghost following us. Understood.
It's not like it's going to bother you, Zarius. You can't see them.
It's the knowing part. The fact that you have been potentially seen, like, maybe you see double the population. Maybe there's just ghosts everywhere, and...
Well, I mean, there are ghosts everywhere. People die everywhere, Zarius.
And there have been ghosts everywhere, and...
Oh, God.
You have been seeing ghosts for a very long time, Terpsy, and at this point, you are so used to seeing them that it's almost like you're kind of numb to it at this point, where you see a ghost, you see a real person. Sometimes you might say hi to a ghost and they say hi back, and sometimes people don't notice, and sometimes people think you're saying hi to them, and it's just like, it is what it is. It's no big deal, right?
Yeah, it's not a big deal. Terpsy is going to turn to the disgruntled one and be like, okay, well, you were being extremely rude, but I am still going to offer to help, because obviously I'm gonna assume you're being rude for a reason, and that maybe you're just not really rude, like Pacer McPacerson over there that hasn't said anything and then just looked really irritated at me when I was like, oh, I'll help you guys out. But yeah, what about you? Why are you here?
The disgruntled, kind of grumpy one looks at you, kind of stopping as they were moving away. And just as they were about to kind of, like, they looked as though they were kind of like halfway through the wall, the upper half of their body kind of almost kind of like peering back in as they were just about to leave, looks at you and says, well, I can't remember anymore. And they go through the wall. You see a very, very embarrassed look on this elderly gentleman's face. Just grumpy gentleman. Grumpy older gentleman's face. You see just strangely their spectral form has a tinge of like pink to their face. Their whole face turning a bit of a tomato red in embarrassment as they quickly go through the wall and they're gone. Shirley looks over at you and, oh, don't mind him. He's always been like that, and he's been here longer than I have, and I don't really know his story. He's a grumper, you know. I think he was probably a grumper in life too. You know, he kind of gives that vibe of a, you know, just a killjoy. Don't you think he's a killjoy?
Yes, he was a killjoy. Absolutely.
Yes.
He's gonna turn to the one that's pacing and like go and walk over to them and be like, okay, so you're walking around a lot, so you have something on your mind. Would you care to share with the group?
The one that's pacing kind of stops as you approach them. and looks up to you. This spirit looks, their face looks very kind of paranoid and scared as they look up at you. They said it was, they said it was honorable, and I'm stuck here, and I need to leave. I got to get out of Easthaven. I've got to go. I can't get out. You should all go. They're gonna take everyone. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? My family doesn't listen to me, and they just keep rambling on and on, like very paranoid, and very frantically. Strangely, the spirit seems to be sweating. You can feel the air around them is kind of strangely moist. It's kind of like, oh, this is gross. Like,
were you one of the lottery? You were sacrificed?
they stop in their tracks and they look up at you. Oh, lottery. That's what they call it, right? Lottery. And so we all thought, we're doing something honorable and, for Easthaven, to protect the people of Easthaven and bring glory to your family. And it's an honor. And, the winter's still here. It's never ending. This never ending night. And my family, they don't talk to me, and nothing's changed for them, and this is, as you can see, I'm still here. Didn't go to some beautiful place. I'm here, stuck in Easthaven, this wretched place.
Two things. What all is bad about Easthaven? Because you are not the first person to say that. And two, do you want me to find your family and tell them what you're saying?
I don't know. I've tried to talk to them. They ignore me. They just go on about their lives as if everything's okay. And I don't know what I feel for them. Maybe they should win the lottery too and join me, or maybe they should leave this place. I don't know. There's not enough food here, and I think that they're using the sacrifice to cover things up. Things are not right here. They say it's an honor, but so many of the poor are sacrificed, and sometimes suspicious people are sacrificed. That doesn't seem like an honor. They say you're gonna go to this beautiful, wondrous place, and this drafty inn is not wondrous.
Hmm. They said the poor and what other people?
They said the poor and suspicious people.
Suspicious. Okay. Okay. What's your family name so I can find them and at least try to tell them to leave?
You watch as they pace for a bit more. They look as though they're wondering. They seem very conflicted when it comes to their family with what they've mentioned, and they look up to you and kind of stop. Family name is Flintfoot. I'm Sharfire Flintfoot. Ironic, right? That they should burn Sharfire Flintfoot.
Momo, you cut out there.
Oh shoot. What did you hear?
Burn something Flintfoot.
Okay, got it.
That was the last thing I heard at least. So.
Sorry. Having a bit of audio issues, I think. They look, let me check the audio stuff here. Hold on a sec. They look over to you after kind of deliberating if they should tell you or not. They seem conflicted when it comes to matters of their family. My name is Sharfire Flintfoot. My family name is Flintfoot, and it's kind of ironic, right, that they should burn Sharfire Flintfoot. Doesn't seem lucky to me, or like some kind of coincidence. It's sick, right?
I think everything about, this whole lottery business to sacrifice people is sick. The whole sacrificing people thing is sick. Like, the other towns do, like, other things. Like, they were, like, sacrificing food. There's one weird town that was, like, sacrificing warmth, which was, like, stupid. We got a couple. We got like 2 of them to stop doing that. The goal is to like try and get everyone to stop the sacrifices. It's not. It's we're getting somewhere. But you're not the first person that I've heard that Easthaven is like really, really bad. So she turns to the group and she's like, guys, we might have to do like a lot of stuff in Easthaven because it's like really bad here.
Or maybe you can just burn Easthaven to the ground. Sharfire looks up at you, this little halfling, and they look fucking crazy. They look fucking so mad, like they've lost it.
I mean, I think it would be really fun if we burned it to the ground. But there's like a lot of people here. I'll get there, Char. I'll get there. There's like a lot of people here, and they probably don't like it. Wouldn't be good for like all of them to die. I definitely know they don't agree with that. She points to Charlotte and Zarius.
Charlotte is literally like looking from Turfsy to Zarius and giving him this look of disbelief, like, huh?
What is... Terpsichore, can you explain what you've been talking about a little more?
What is this about burning things to the ground? And
Okay, so I'm talking to Sharfire Flintfoot right now, and they are like super paranoid and scared. They were sacrificed, and they're saying all the bad stuff about the lottery and how they're told that everyone's told that it's honorable and they're going to go to some place nice, and obviously that didn't happen because they are here, not in the nice place. And so here's where like the more bad stuff of Easthaven that I've heard about. They're telling me that Easthaven doesn't have enough food, and that the sacrifices might be used to be covering up that and some other stuff, and that most of the people that win the lottery, woohoo, and get sacrificed are poor and suspicious people.
So they're using it as a means of getting rid of mouths that they can't feed and other enemies?
That's what it seems like.
That's awful. But how can we... If they're using it intentionally, how are we to stop it? Unless we expose them in some sort of way.
I don't know. The first ghost I talked to while we were heading into Easthaven said that the corruption runs really deep here.
I don't suppose there's any way to make these ghosts visible. It would be pretty hard to argue with everyone who's been sacrificed saying, this is bullshit.
Language. Apologies. It is
Uh,
bullshit.
Yeah, I can't do. I don't know how to do that seance stuff. That whatever his face can. This is the best I got.
Could he teach you, perhaps? Or could we maybe... This is quite the pickle. You don't have any way... Well, I suppose we could try and investigate.
Yeah, I know we didn't want to be here, like, long into, like, the sacrifice or anything.
Can
But
you
things
ask... Go ahead.
but things are, like, really bad. And I kind of feel bad if we left, because this isn't like Targos, where things are really bad, but I hated being over there.
Could you ask the Shaw fellow who has benefited the most from this arrangement? Is there
Yeah,
someone in town?
sure. And she turns back to Surefire, and is like, "Did you get that? He wants to know if there's like anybody that's benefited from all of this that's going on and whatnot."
The halfling spirit looks over to you and benefited. Well, they're getting rid of mouths to feed, and people get angry when there's not enough food to go around, and problems start. And isn't it convenient that you can just sacrifice people and help, cutting down the growth of the town? This is the second biggest town in all of 10 towns, and the people here are struggling. But the speaker doesn't want anyone to know that. The ugly truth of Easthaven.
Mm-hmm. So there's not like one person that is like doing really well, like with the suspicious people that get sacrificed.
Likely that would be the speaker, yes?
Well, they're saying that the speaker just doesn't seem to want people to know all of the bad stuff going on. But with the thought of the whole corruption thing in my mind, do you think maybe like that cult is also in Easthaven like it was in Caer-Dineval?
It is a possibility. We haven't been here long enough to see any sort of signs of it, though. We haven't been here long.
Yeah.
Either way, I wasn't planning on just leaving Easthaven, especially not with the problems that have, well, clearly, there are many. I was more so a bit worried about Sefik's situation being something that is pressing, time-wise. If we do not exit before the sacrifice, we will be stuck here for quite some time.
I will go look for your friend right now. I am so sorry. You know, you've been so kind to me, and you're the first person I've talked to, and gosh, it's been months now, and I should go look for him, and I will return as soon as I found him, and I will tell him that you're all very worried and very nice, and he should be so lucky to have good friends like you all. Shame on him.
Thank you, Shirley. I really appreciate it. And Tripsy looks really happy.
She
All these nice.
She goes to give you a hug, and you just feel like a slight cold just kind of wrap around you.
She does her best to give a hug back.
You guys watch as Terpsy hugs the air, and Shirley, okay, I'll be right back. The sooner I go, the sooner I can find him. Sefik, okay, Sefik, yes, I'll find him. And she kind of rushes. She runs towards the door, but then she stops, and then she just disappears through the floor. As if I'm a ghost. I can go through the freaking floor. I don't have to go through the door. Come on now, silly, you know?
Okay, guys. Shirley is on her way to go find Sefik. And she said she's going to be back as soon as she can. And she's going to tell him how great we are. But that probably won't mean much because I don't think he talks to dead people.
No, I think that is an ability that is uniquely belonging to you.
Did you tell her to come back and report
Yeah, I did.
where he was? Oh, alright, good.
I made sure of that one. But I do have to go tell her sister that she's dead.
Oh,
That, Charlotte, do you want to help with that, or...
I can, although I don't really know the situation as well as you do, Tipsicle. I will be there to provide support if you need it.
Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, Shirley didn't give me too many details, just that she wants me to let her know, to let her sister Danica know that she is gone and not coming back, and she really wants her to leave Easthaven because it is dangerous. All of the ghosts seem to agree that Easthaven is very dangerous.
I see, and did they... I do have an idea about... Perhaps we could use your ghostly friends because, well, as far as we know, no one else but you can see them, correct? Maybe they would be able to pick up on, I don't know, things that are being concealed that we can't pick up on.
How many ghosts are here?
In the room right now,
I guess I'm more concerned, why are they stuck here?
So Shirley was saying that most of them have come to the White Lady Inn because of the halfling, to try and get him to talk to people, but he ignores them to talk to the White Lady.
Can you ask them if they are stuck here because of the sacrifice? are they specifically staying back to try and warn their families? I think that may be a very important distinction.
Are they not able to pass on?
Turns back to the two ghosts. She's like, do you guys know why you're stuck here?
The one laying on the floor looks at you and kind of looks puzzled for a moment and then kind of shrugs. And the one that was pacing looks over to you and says, well, they told me as soon as I was sacrificed that I was gonna go to this amazing place, a wonderful place, and that, I would see everyone else there, all the other people who've been sacrificed, and it's warm and the sun is out and there's flowers everywhere, and someday my family will show up there, and there's no one here, there's no flowers, it's not warm. I'm still stuck in stupid Easthaven.
Have you seen the other people that have been sacrificed here?
Yeah, they're around. Some of them are out in the town, some of them are here trying to talk to the halfling Ronaldo downstairs. He sees us, but I guess there's no money to be made, and talking to the other ghosts, so he just reaches out to the white lady because of I don't know. It's like some kind of tourist trap or something.
Okay. So she turns back to Zarius. So, neither of them know exactly why they're stuck here, like on our plane. But Starfire says that the other people that were sacrificed are also still in Easthaven as ghosts.
That is not good. A concentration of spirits cannot end well. Especially vengeful ones, angry ones. Who would do something this sinister?
I don't know, but
For what reason?
I'm gonna talk to Ronaldo. Because he's not talking to any of the other ghosts here, and I want to know why he's only speaking to the white lady.
Yeah, talk to Ronaldo. And punch him in the face for me, too. I've tried so many times, and my hands just go right through him. He screams every time, though.
I think we really, really scared him earlier today. So I might not need to punch him in the face. I was kind of coming at him really hard, though, because he was supposed to, summon the white lady, and then he didn't. He summoned a person that is alive.
No, what an idiot.
See, that's what I was saying. I thought he was fake, like a fake communer with the dead, but apparently he's not. And now he's just like a rude one because he doesn't talk to you guys.
Yeah. He didn't even... I thought, maybe I'm a halfling, he's a halfling. I thought maybe, he would help a fellow out, but no.
Yeah, he just doesn't seem like a good guy.
Yeah, step on his foot or trip him in the hallway or something. Been trying. Doesn't work.
Charlotte, you're probably definitely gonna have to come with me for that, because if he says something stupid, I might stab him.
Alright. Well, you can't stab him, Terpsichore, but I do agree with you that he is a horrible man, because if Will, the admittedly one-sided conversation that I'm overhearing is true, then that means that he's one of the, perhaps one of the only townspeople who knows the truth about these executions.
Yes, and he's already really scared of us. So maybe if we all go, he'll be like really freaked out and think he has to say something. Of course, I am incredibly intimidating.
You
So it's
are.
not like we need all of us. But I think it would work pretty well if all of us were there.
Oh yes, and while I typically refrain from using such things as intimidation or force, I feel that this is more than a bit deserved given his circumstances.
Why don't we find out what's going on first before we scare the bejesus out of someone?
Darius, this man knows about the executions and that they don't work, and he hasn't said anything.
I'm not sure that he does.
If he's able to hear and see these dead people, don't you think he would be able to piece together that they don't go to some happy, beautiful place?
That's true, but he may think he is in particular haunted, or that they're not spirits but echoes or something else. I would be quite curious to see what he thinks is going on. That might,
Well, he touts himself about as a medium, so we will see.
let's confront him and see where he goes with it. I think that will be quite revealing.
All right.
Yeah, stab him. Stab him really good. And you see the halfling like doing a stabbing motion, but there's no dagger in their hand. They're just like kind of lunging and stabbing. Like they're very they're freaking deranged.
Even back to them. Have you tried actually leaving Easthaven now that you're a ghost? Because you could walk through walls and stuff, or do you get pulled back into Easthaven? Because surely did.
I don't know where to go. They said I was just gonna close my eyes, and once I open them, I'm gonna be in this wonderful place with warmth and flowers and lots of tasty food, and I opened my eyes, and I saw a pile of burnt wood and ashes, and no one else was there. And then I saw the others, those who had been sacrificed before me. I saw them kind of standing around, and at first they wouldn't talk to me. And then I realized that it was all a lie. There is no warm place. There is only this cold place. But I haven't tried to leave or walk out. I just don't know where to go. Do you? Is there some kind of map? Am I supposed to walk to this warm place? I thought I was just gonna be there instantaneously.
Well, as far as I know, that is how that's supposed to work. You're just supposed to I don't know exactly what makes people ghosts and whatnot. What I do know is that if you are able to leave Easthaven, then you're probably able to leave Icewind Dale in general. So you could go to a place where it's warmer. Where I'm from, there are areas where people that escaped from the underworld live. So like I don't know how it works with ghosts because they're not like really ghosts, but they might be able to see you. You might be able to like go to the underworld from there. Um, I'm not too sure about that, but I mean, if you're not tied to here, you could go somewhere warmer and a lot more fun.
And which way is that? Which way do I go?
South.
Okay, so I just walk south and I'll get there eventually.
Terpsichore,
Yes, Sarius?
shouldn't we be advising them to go to the afterlife, not just to travel?
Well, Sarius, I don't know how to send somebody to the afterlife. Like somebody that's already dead. I know of openings to the underworld, and that is pretty much it.
You want to lay someone to rest?
I think we should try to fulfill whatever it is they're trying to pass on before we lay them to rest, but yes, I think that's what should be done. There should not be restless spirits. Either they should be revived or able to go to rest.
I mean,
Things
it's not
in
like
between.
I don't know if it's possible to revive them without a body. Also, I don't quite have that power yet. Nor the funds, but I could speak with either my deity or, well, the whole deal with ghosts is usually that they have some sort of unfinished business, correct? So if we do end up fixing this sacrifice, making it so that they no longer hold them, I feel that that would set a lot of people free.
so with like the unfinished business thing, we have the
Right.
one that's going to be traveling with us that doesn't remember what's going on. And Starfire here, like, kind of wants to warn their family, but doesn't really care.
I figure that many of those who have died to this frankly cruel lie would want justice, and I think that that would serve to put a lot of them at ease if this never happens to anyone again.
Makes sense. If we can solve the problem here, perhaps most of them will move on.
Yeah, but in the meantime, like, they can travel. You know, the spirit will rest regardless of where they are, probably.
That probably concerns me an inordinate amount.
Zarius, too many things concern you. And you know what? Honestly, I think that's why I don't tell you things immediately. You're so stressed out all of the time.
What do you mean by don't tell me things immediately?
You know, tell you stuff. Like the
Terpsichore?
things with dead people.
What aren't you telling me?
She like looks over at Mistral and then looks back at Zarius. I am not I feel like I've told you absolutely everything you need to know.
Inside track.
Mistral like pops up out of bed, looking at Zarius. She's like, "Yeah, don't you know that a girl's got to keep her mystique, her mystery about her? And here you want her to spill all of her deepest, darkest secrets to you? Really?"
No, I'm genuinely concerned that you're not telling me something when, well, it would cause me to worry.
Are you saying that you do not trust our dearest, most beautiful, most eloquent, best writer in all of Faerun friend here, Terpsichore?
Can I roll an insight check on whether or not Terpsy is told Darius everything? Like,
You certainly
whether or
can.
not she is hiding something? Okay.
No, I absolutely do not trust either of you to tell me things that are considering I didn't know there were people coming after Terpsichore until, a significant amount of time, and now that's why I put up an alert wire when we go to sleep now.
Charlotte, you feel like Zarius is. You're just like, yeah. Why wouldn't you trust Terpsy? Like, she's like, we can trust her. She's our friend. Like, you've got to trust your friends. Like,
Zarius, I think that whatever Terpsy has to say, she will say it when she's ready, and do you really think that she would conceal anything that important from us? Look at her face. She like holds one of your cheeks, Terpsichore, and like squishes it a little bit. Like, look at her face.
Are you seriously forgetting the part where she was being hunted by assassins?
Oh, yeah.
And
No, I'm
she
not.
didn't tell us.
There can't be much more, can there?
Zarius, that one was not my fault. You
Also-
guys did not ask about my past.
also, lest you forget.
We literally just found out that you see dead people all the time.
It's safe.
I
It's
think
safe
that
here.
This is a case of not practicing active listening. Zarius, if you are to just listen to Terpsichore and maybe, I don't know, follow up on some of her strange, albeit very interesting comments, then perhaps she won't feel so left out in conversations in the future.
Oh god. Okay.
Yeah, besides, no one can find anyone in here in Icewind Dale. You can't just from the outside. It's not easy to just find people here. The magic, the never-ending winter, all that kind of good stuff. So she's safe. She's safe here. Plus, if anyone did show up, she's got me, and she's got Charlotte, and she's got Estrella, and she's got Cephik, and she's got Zarius, and we made a new friend, Dazan. He'd probably come to her aid too. Like, it'd be fine.
And Zarius, I have mentioned that I see dead people and commune with ghosts for quite some time now. And
yes,
you just
and I
didn't
thought
ask about it.
I thought that was like a thing that you could do on occasion. Not that you are always, constantly, seeing dead people as if they were alive, and two cannot tell the difference between the living and the dead.
Well, why put a cap on her amazing abilities? Her possibilities and skills, they're endless. She's a beautiful, bountiful buffet of abilities and skills, and she does a little like sparkly hands at Terpsichore, and you see little like sparkles come out of Mistral's hands, and she's like, ta-da, like the great Terpsy, and there's just like, yeah.
All of you seem to be in rather consistent agreement. That being said, if you do not tell, if you choose to keep something secret, and it ends up hurting us, I am going to be very upset with you.
I mean, I feel like you've been pretty upset with me for just like not saying anything that like actually wasn't important. So either way, I think you're just gonna end up mad at me. It's because you do things like that.
Yeah, why don't you try smiling instead of going, see, like this? And she does like a huge fucking just cheesy ass grin.
Zarius just starts rubbing his temples. Great. We're all going to die. Fantastic. All right.
We're not going to die.
I mean, Zarius, everyone dies eventually, so...
I'm going to have to turn back time and prevent all of whatever is happening here. Fantastic. All right.
Everyone
Great.
dies eventually, except for Charlotte's friends.
Oh wait,
Charlotte, are you gonna make
is
it live forever?
yeah, do you have some Charlotte magic that like we're gonna live forever? Cause that's really freaking cool.
Well, I do have magic, and you haven't died so far.
Oh shit.
So I would say the immortality is going quite well.
Mistral looks like she believes you fucking wholeheartedly. She's just like, holy shit. Like, she looks like the math, like the math is going on, but she's just like, oh my god, she's right. Believes 1000%.
She smiles. Not about to burst her bubble. Either way, whatever comes our way, I will keep you safe.
These areas, everything's gonna be fine. Charlotte's gonna keep us all safe. We're immortal. Until proven not immortal. She gives him like two thumbs up.
No one's remembering a satyr who perished and then shacked up with. Never mind. I
Yes, but where is he now?
this
Alive?
This line of questioning has gone on too long.
With
All
his
right.
partner.
As long as you stay within my sight, I can protect you. Stray outside of it, and I will do my best to fix whatever you run into, I suppose. As seen this effort. And she kind of gets quiet and is like,
You know, I've really thought we were finally working on our communication, but
I am communicating.
Xerius just points at Terpsichore and Mistral.
Mistral and I communicate all of the time. That's all we do is communicate with each other.
Are you kidding me? Our communication is fabulous. And she looks at Terpsy and she looks at Xerius and she's just like, our communication is key. We communicate in so many ways that transcend normal communication. We communicate when we're on stage without even words, sometimes with glances or the pluck of my harp or the sway of her hips. And then we communicate also with words. And then also we're communicating all the time.
I was talking about your communication with me specifically.
Well, how about
But I'm glad to know that your communication is so in depth.
How about this? Terpsichore, is there anything that you feel is a burning desire or pressing need to share with Xerius?
No.
I believe you. Communication. And she does a little, wave of her hand with guidance.
Insight check.
Okay, go ahead and roll me insight.
That's a 16 total.
All right, give me one.
It's pretty good for Xerius, I
Give me
guess.
one chotomate. Mistral just has her hands on her hips at this point, and she's just looking at you, so offended, Xerius. She's like, I can't believe the audacity of this man. I cannot believe that. She's whispering kind of low voice to Terpsy. Terpsy, I sent you a message on Discord.
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. I had to do the things.
Haha, yeah. One chotom. Oh my god. All right, so Xerius, you are kind of listening as Mistral is going on and on about can't believe that he wouldn't trust you, the audacity, and then it's at that moment that you're holy shit, There is something she's not telling me, but I don't know what the fuck it is. So do with that what you will.
Zarius is just gonna sit back. I will deal with whatever this is at a later date. I truly do not think you are hiding something from me, and I honestly think that will hurt us at some point. But for now, Sefik is the primary concern, so we'll let this go.
We should name ourselves like the Wizard Helpers of Icewind Dale or something. We're out here just helping all the wizards, you know? Wizards helping wizards.
But I'm not a wizard.
Patently not true.
But we're all kind of wizards in one way or another. Zarius is like a wizard. I'm like a musical wizard. Terpsy's like a dancing, dazzling dagger wizard. And you're like a golden, shining, tea-making wizard.
I have not studied a bit of arcane practice in my entire life, to my own knowledge, to be fair.
Well, neither have I. And yet, need I remind you,
Wizard is?
I can cast magic too, because magic comes from your heart, not from a book. And she like quickly like jumps into bed, pulls the covers over her head.
Zarius, is that not what a wizard is?
A wizard is someone who seeks wizard and arcane knowledge via study and practice.
Precisely, I have not studied.
No, but you have divine magic through being a conduit for that very concerning deity of yours.
Zarius, how many deities do you think I speak with?
Do you actually want me to answer that question?
If I did, why would I? If I didn't, why would I ask it?
I don't remember all of them, but there's at least 2, and I think you could be making deals with up to 5 if you thought it was actually helping protect us.
It is 2. Yes.
Oh man. So Charlotte, you got like a lot of magic from your deity? Because I only got like one magic.
One magic?
Yeah, the other magic is kind of just cause I'm a snake lady, and that's just how that works for us, I guess.
I will be perfectly honest. I am still figuring out where exactly my magic originates from. Although, well, I figure the less damaging bits, should come from. Oh my gosh, I don't want to get the name wrong. The revered mother.
Huh.
All right. Yes, if you could focus on Bernard Truesilver instead of Mr. Angry Bloodthirst, that would be mildly less concerning for me.
Considering the dream that I discussed with you, I'm not quite sure if I have that luxury.
Fair enough. I suppose you should call on her to try and run interference with that one, maybe? I don't know how that works. Alright.
Back into contact with her, you think I should throw these problems at her? I should at least try to solve them myself first.
I think that if she has offered you her power that freely, she probably cares for you quite a bit, and would not be upset about you coming to her to try and assist with problems outside of our cosmic domain.
Well, then she also knows how capable I am, and I don't want to disappoint her. This is nothing I can't deal with myself.
Wow, I have no idea what you guys are talking about. See, you can't say that I don't communicate with you, Zarius, because obviously this is something you guys didn't communicate with the rest of us.
Well, that's because, well, to be fair, you were not exactly supposed to know this. But it's too late now.
See, like how everyone else knew about the worms, and I didn't know about the worms.
That is a very good point, and I will do my best not to leave you out in the future. But yes, two gods.
That seems like a lot of stress. There's two gods to make happy.
I'm fine.
Are you sure, Charlotte? Do you need a hug?
Well, I'm not going to say no to a hug. She kind of scoots closer and like instinctively
Charlotte,
puts her arms out.
I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna be like, Charlotte, everything is gonna be okay, you know?
I didn't say that it wasn't. I'm perfectly fine. Perfectly fine.
From my experience, people that say that they're fine aren't fine. But you're like big, strong Charlotte, so I'll like half believe you.
No, you should fully believe me. I am very truthful. Always.
Oh, this is true. You are very truthful, always.
This is a good hug.
Give Zari. This is a good hug, and she like whispers to Charlotte, but not very well. I think Zarius also needs a hug because he's stressed out all of the time.
Charlotte slowly turns her head to look back at Zarius, like still in the hug, and like extends an arm out and is like, does the bring it in gesture.
Fine.
Squeeze and guidance, both of you.
Oh, we're such a happy little family.
I love them.
I appreciate the hug. I do. The amount of stress that I carry is quite normal. I do not mind it. I would like to be prepared for as many things as possible.
Zarius, just because you don't mind the stress does not mean that the amount of stress you have is normal.
It's normal for me, so it's fine. Anyways.
Good to know that we're all fine.
Oh, yes, that's...
Oh, guys, look at us. We're bonding.
I feel very bonded.
All right. Is there anything else you would all like to do before you go to bed?
I used all my sending. I'm ready for bed.
So with
Ready for
that,
bed.
Zarius, ready for bed?
Let's see here. What was he going to do? Yeah, I guess I'll just keep working on that book from Cephik now.
All right. So with that, our lovely players are going to go ahead and take a long rest. And we're going to take a break. So go ahead and stretch your legs, get some water, get some drinks. We will be back after the break. And yeah, back into the morning of Icewind Dale at Easthaven and see what unfolds there. So we'll be back shortly.
Rime of the Frostmaiden will be taking a short break. We should be back in a few minutes. Take this moment to refresh yourself, stretch, and perhaps get yourself a cup of tea. If you do not have the appropriate dishware, I will be happy to provide it myself, as well as the appropriate beverage. While you're waiting, do check out our social media. Any links to them are provided on screen. Follow our Twitter at A Minstrel's Tale for updates and additional content, and be sure to also follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/minstrel's tale to receive notifications for when the next stream goes live. Missed past episodes? Don't worry, they're all available to view on our YouTube channel, A Minstrel's Tale. Additionally, check out our card, rimeofthefrostmomo.crd.co for character bios, links to other social media, and more. Enjoy the break, and we'll be back soon with more Frostmaiden.
Good evening, viewers. Zarius here, reminding you to get up, stretch, even look away from your monitor for a few minutes. After all, self-care leads to a healthy mind, and, well, you want to be alert for what comes next. Perhaps even brew yourself a cup of tea. Get a little caffeine in you. Charlotte makes, by the way, hands down the very best tea in existence. If you think otherwise, I'd recommend stating your opinion outside of fireball range. I tend to get a little bit protective when she's involved.
Pleased to meet you. My name is Charlotte. I am a warforged of unknown origin with quite a few gaps in my memory. I first remember coming to consciousness when my now traveling companion and new flame Zarius stumbled upon my form buried under several feet of snow. He was on the brink of death when he found me, but I was able to give him another chance at life, just as he had me. We decided to travel together after that, and had been doing so for a year prior to meeting the rest of our lovely group. I do my utmost to protect all of them, as I care for them all deeply. That sometimes involves striking bargains with entities that don't exactly accept prayer in the traditional sense. But if anyone were to dare harm a member of my party, there would surely be bloodshed anyhow, don't you think? As for my missing memories, I'm quite torn on the matter. While I'd like to know more about my past, I suspect that what I learned will be neither pleasant nor painless if what I have recovered thus far is any indication of what's to come. I'm not going to let that get me down, however. While I'm not the biggest fan of my past, I am more than happy with my present, traveling 10 towns with my dear companions and protecting them every step of the way.
Arriving to the utterly insufficient dance floor, a beauty of unknown and mysterious origins whose piercing green eyes and agile movements have lanced through the heart and souls of any fated to see her, including my own. I give you the amazing, the cheerful, the unmatched Terpsichore.
Oh, Mistral, stop! You're making me blush. As Mistral so magnificently stated, I am Terpsichore. I've danced my way across the lands far and wide, filling crowds with glee. The lovely Clothis has led me to 10 towns with my wonderful, amazing, beautiful, spectacular friends. Fulfilling our predestined past is much more than I could have ever asked for, really. Oh, but do be careful. I won't hesitate to cut anyone's threads. Oh, wait. If you don't understand what that means, I mean that I'll kill you.
If your heart hasn't been moved, I know your wallets have. If you want to know more about this mysterious beauty, make sure to buy a copy of her artfully woven book, The Secrets of Faerun, sold at fine traders and general stores all across the realm.
Hi, I'm Dorielle, but you can call me Dory. You know what? We should just be friends. I'm gonna tell you some stuff about me, and then you can tell me some stuff about you, and then we'll be friends, right? Okay, so a couple of things about me. I'm a satyr, obviously, but I'm from the Feywild, which is different from Schmo. He's from Cactus. I'm 10. My favorite food is sticky buns, especially when Zarius makes them. I really love the color lilac. I really like parties. I really like pranks. I'm super smart. I'm super wise. Ooh, I'm gonna tell you about my best friend. Her name's Miru. She's really nice. She brought me to 10 towns and she made me super duper powerful. And you know what? You should meet her. You can join the best friends club and she'll make you super powerful too. I think I see Charlotte coming over here. And she doesn't look too happy. I might be in trouble. Don't worry, I'm really good at getting out of trouble, especially with Charlotte. But I think I have to go. I promise I'll talk to you later. You can tell me all about you, but I have to go. Okay, bye!
Howdy there, my name's Schmo Iverson. It's a pleasure. I ended up in 10 towns due to some mind flayers abducting me when I was on my lonesome back in my homeland of Flagstaff. Stuff they did was mighty nasty, but to my surprise, their ship went and crashed in 10 towns. Luckily for me, I was born in Icewind, and so I made my way to 10 towns trying to figure out a cure for the parasite the mind flayers put in my brain. Along these travels, I did end up bumping into my party, and the rest is history. Though, might be important to mention, I did pass away in a nasty tussle, but was brought back by someone I have yet to know much about, hey, I got magic now.
A most eloquently spoken and unnaturally skilled plucker of strings surely needs no introduction, but if my realm-shaking reputation and voice, the likes of which the gods themselves wait on, have not reached the pale and unfortunate rock you live under, hearken to my words, for I will fill your poor uncultured ears with the tales of minstrel, harpist, bard, adventurer, and weaver of extraordinary stories. My voice unmatched, my tales unbeatable, my heart untaken. Or is it? Come now, dear listener, I will weave you tales of plucky adventures, downtrodden citizens, untoward warlords, and evils only the mightiest of hearers might vanquish. Listen well, for this very night I leave to share my stories and my lovely self with the next town in need of my glowing presence. Tonight you will become another one of the Bard Minstrel's biggest fans.
Humanity has many theories on why the universe is so quiet, on why we haven't discovered signs of intelligent life or heard the echoes of other sapient species of the past. Not many would have guessed it was because we were being protected, sheltered from the rest of the universe, from an ever-expanding war, and ultimately our responsibility within it. Regardless of whether or not humanity is ready for it, great change is coming. Evolution on a daily scale, powers that resemble magic from mythology, and an all-consuming enemy clawing at the proverbial gate. Humanity must adapt or die. Neither Arthur Blackburn nor his family are prepared for these tribulations, but they are determined to rise to the challenge. Ascendant Family is a lit RPG post-apocalyptic fantasy adventure centered around a family and their fight to survive, grow, and reunite in a world drastically changed by a foreign energy. They will fight beasts, monsters, and even their fellow man as they try to keep themselves and their community alive and safe. Grappling with new powers, strange enemies, and unexpected allies, they attempt to carve out a place for themselves in the new chaos of Earth as they struggle to understand this new energy, the changes it's causing, and the strange war humanity has been thrust into. Greetings, audience. Please gaze upon the majestic makers of maps who enhance our stream. These colorful cartographers have no equal, and if you too wish to tread upon their velveteen creations, simply head to one of their Patreons below. These wizards of topography will surely appreciate it. They are Pogs Props, Maps and Quests, Dr. Mapso, Cartographer's Cantrip, Dynamic Dungeons, Dice Grimorium, Incarnate, The Modern Lich.
Frostmaiden will be back in just a few moments. Please gather up all snacks, loved ones, and ensure that you are seated comfortably and appropriately before you rejoin us on our adventure. We're glad to have you.
Ever the industrious adventurers, you can find A Minstrel's Tale on a plethora of social media websites. You can visit us on Twitter, for example, at A Minstrel's Tale. And, please, don't forget that we stream every Saturday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can find us at twitch.tv/Minstrel's Tale. And, well, if you happen to miss a stream, a terrible crime indeed, have no fear. All of our previous streams are available on YouTube at the A Minstrel's Tale channel. Thank you for watching our content, and if you're feeling kind, please follow us.
All right, and with that, we are back. Hopefully everyone had some good break, got some snacks, got some drinks, got some leg stretches in, bought their own copy of the critically acclaimed Ascendant Family book you can find on Amazon.com from Bezos' house, you know. There's the link in the chat if you need it. Yeah, so let's get back into it. You guys wake up feeling refreshed enough, you know, you had a decent sleep. And Terpsy, when you wake up, you just see the lone ghost laying on the floor, kind of still staring at you. Almost as if they don't want to take their eyes off of you for fear that they'll miss when you leave and their chance to travel alongside you. What would you all like to do this fine morning in Easthaven?
Get up, get breakfast, and I guess start the trying to investigate and ask around town. I think Zarius will wait for Charlotte and Terpsichore to talk to Danica, and then the our gnome friend who also talks to ghosts.
I thought they were halfling.
Oh, sorry, halfling. That's right.
Yeah. Charlotte will kind of rise once she sees that Darius is waking up. Good morning.
Morning. Today is going to be a very busy day, I feel.
Yes, I feel that too. What were our plans for the day? Are we leaving? Are we staying?
Well, why don't we start with talking to the halfling and telling this Danica person about their sister, was it, I believe?
Yes. I think we should do that first. I don't think that conversation's going to be as long as the one with Ronaldo.
I suspect you're right. Did she say where her sister was?
She is on the first floor of the inn, room 103.
Perfect. Well, shall we head there right away?
Yeah.
I'll follow your lead.
Alright. She's going to get up. She's going to smile and wave to the ghost that's laying on the floor and, like, gesture for to follow us.
Yeah, as she sees that you guys are leaving, she gets up, kind of slowly dragging herself up off the floor, and just starts to follow behind you guys.
Charlotte will see like Terpsy waving to nothing and will like hesitantly smile and wave too in that same direction, even though she can't see, and follow Terpsy.
All right.
So I guess Terpsy's just gonna go like right to the room, and you know give a nice knock on the door.
And you knock on the door, and the door opens. Door opens, and a lady who looks very similar to Shirley is facing you. She looks quite confused by your presence, though she gives you kind of a a confused, kind of weak smile. Good morning. Can I help you?
Good morning. Are you Danica?
Yes.
I have some pretty unfortunate news to tell you. Would you be more comfortable if we did this inside of your room?
Unfortunate news? Oh, okay. She kind of like opens the door, and as she opens the door, kind of looking at all of you very curiously, a bit almost kind of like with untrusting, kind of confused eyes, she motions for you all to come in. When you step into the room, it's very dark inside. The place looks to be a bit of a mess. Like, this is an inn, and it looks like she's been just staying in this inn for quite some time, months, and it looks like she's not left this room very much. It looks, things are messy, kind of strewn about. The drapes are closed, and she walks over to the fireplace where the fire is just about to die down, and she adds another log and just sits down on the chair by the fire. So, you said you had something to tell me.
Yes. My name's Terpsichore. These are my friends. We're adventurers. We arrived here yesterday. And just to kind of, I guess, rip off the Band-Aid, I'm not great with the whole verbal communication kind of stuff. Like Ronaldo, I can commune with the dead, and while I was seeking aid for something that we are trying to do, I came into contact with your sister Shirley. She left some odd months ago, and she came here to try and get Ronaldo to tell you that she unfortunately cannot return and does not want you to remain here in Easthaven. She says it's very dangerous here, and she just wants you to be able to leave and live your life the best that you can without her.
Well, that can't be right, because my sister, she's coming back, and you said that you spoke with Ronaldo, and Ronaldo speaks with the dead. My sister's very much alive, and she's gonna come up here any day now. So if I leave, then I'm going to miss her return. So I need to stay here.
Danica, I'm sure I can pull Ronaldo here, because although Shirley couldn't get him to talk to you, she was adamant that he saw her here in the inn. And she has been trying to tell you, I don't know for how long, that she will not be coming back.
Okay. Well, if you spoke with her, what is her name?
Shirley.
And what does she look like?
Well, she looks like you, remarkably so, but is a bit taller.
Well, okay, very, very good guesses. And, Well, is she here now then?
No. She is helping us locate one of our friends.
I see.
She asked me to deliver this message to you in exchange for her helping us.
Well, if I should leave Easthaven, then where should I go? I should just leave.
Koenig and Caer Dineval are quite nice and welcoming.
Caer Koenig is much better than Caer Dineval. I recommend Caer Koenig.
And
As do I. Did you two make your home here, or are you from somewhere else?
well, we were from Bryn Shander, but our parents passed, and we thought to find somewhere new to live, and Bryn Shander being the biggest town of 10 towns here, we thought perhaps Easthaven could serve as our new home. It was tough for the both of us to stay in that town where we had lots of memories, and we hadn't decided if we were going to stay here, so we were just staying at the inn. But surely she left one day to go buy some things, and she hasn't come back yet.
This happened while you were here in Easthaven.
Yes, it was a couple months ago, and I had told the guards about it, but they've not been much help. They said people go missing all the time, and just if they spent all their time looking for people every time someone went missing, that I don't know. I just figured that she would be coming back, and so I've been staying here.
Charlotte's face goes from this sympathetic, calm, placid face to just anger hearing about this. Well, that cannot be allowed to happen. I'm so sorry that you fell through the cracks like this. That is not something that can be. That is not a response that any sort of leadership should have to someone in need like you. I'm so sorry.
I mean, it's a big town, and there's a lot of people here, and we're not from this town, so maybe it just wasn't. Maybe they didn't see it as one of their problems. But this Caer Koenig place, you said, I've not been to that town, though. I've heard it's a small town. I'm never lived in a small town before, but maybe that would be better. I've not really been having luck with Bryn Shander, and now here, so she has this just lost look on her face. She just looks like this is a lot.
Yes, I would suggest that, well, if you're not comfortable revisiting those sorts of memories in Bryn Shander, then perhaps you could find a new home for yourself, and I think that Cape Koenig is a very good place to start.
Do you recommend a specific inn there, or, well, they probably only have one inn.
The Northern Light is where you should go. They will treat you very kindly there, and there's two sisters that live there, Allie and Corey, and I'm certain that they would be able to give you the help that you need.
Oh, okay, will you tell Shirley that, I'm going there and I miss her, and will I ever be able to talk to her again?
Maybe if you meet another medium, I'm not too sure how people gain the ability to commune with the dead.
I see. Well, if I'm to leave, I'll need to do it today. They'll be, closing the gates tonight. So, I should probably start packing my things, and she starts just looking around the room like a look of overwhelm, like, oh man. I could probably find someone, pay someone to help me with some safe passage to Cape Koenig. I don't know if the ferry is up yet, but
Charlotte's going to dig in her chest cavity and pull out a little coin purse, and she's gonna pour out, like, let's see, she's gonna pour out 20 gold worth, so I guess 2 platinum, and like put them in her hand.
oh, thank you, but I shouldn't take this from you.
No, you should. This will at the very least get you to where you need to go, and then some.
All right, I appreciate it. This is, oh, forgive me, this is just a lot. And she's like talking to you guys like this whole time, but she just got like tears like at the corner of her eyes, and they just start to come out. But she's just like talking, like she's not like crying. She just got them fucking tears just coming out.
Take care of yourself and take as much time as you need to process this. I do hope you make it to Cape Koenig all right, and I do hope that you're able to start a life there that does bring you peace.
Thank you.
You may feel terrible now, I would imagine, but it's not going to be this way forever.
She kind of just like nods, like wiping the tears away. And she tries to give like a smile, like a weak smile.
Yeah. She puts a hand on her shoulder and gives her a little guidance.
She hugs you as you give her guidance. She just like gives you this like huge hug. Like really, really tight hug.
Oh my. There. She holds her and gives her a hug.
Thank you. It's been a long time since I've hugged anybody.
Me, it hasn't even been 24 hours since she continues to like pat her back and just kind of like rub her back until she feels, she stops crying.
Yeah, she's just like fucking sobbing full blown into your shoulder at this point. Like,
Yeah. She just allows her to like sob and snot on her jacket.
yeah,
It's
your
fine.
jacket is fucking soaked. Like the shoulder of your jacket is just fucking soaked. Oh, I'm so sorry. She like pulls out a handkerchief and starts to try to like wipe her shoulder. She pulls. I'm so sorry.
No, it's quite all right.
I've made a mess on you, and you've helped me and been so kind to me, and I'm a mess, and this is all very embarrassing.
It's not embarrassing. Grief is a very natural thing. I am at least glad that I was able to provide you with some comfort.
Yes, you all have. I appreciate you. And she looks to Terpsy, and she looks to you guys, and she looks very thankful. Like, you can see like the roller coaster of kind of emotions this lady's gone through, and she feels kind of she has kind of like a thankful look on her face.
Of course. You will be just fine, my dear. Just give yourself some time.
And she kind of just nods and smiles. A real smile this time. All right. Anything else you guys would like to do?
Look at that fucker.
Medium.
Fucking kill Ronaldo.
Yeah, she kind of walks you guys to the door and, says her goodbyes to you. And before you leave, she says to you, Terpsy, tell Shirley I'll be in Kerkonik, and thank you, and I miss her so much, and I will do my best.
Of course, will make sure to tell her as soon as she comes back.
Thank you. And she goes back to, kind of closes the door, and you all are out in the hallway now of the White Lady Inn.
Wow, that was horribly sad. And to avoid thinking about it and thinking about my sisters and that whole situation, let's go beat up Ronaldo.
Oh dear. I cannot stress this enough. We should probably refrain from outright violence, but I do not like this man.
I don't either. He summoned a living person when he should have summoned a dead one. What a scammer.
I think he just maybe. I hope it's incompetence. I hope it's incompetence. That's all I can say.
I hope he sees us and gets really scared.
May not be able to control his talent like Terpsichore can.
We will see.
What a loser. Just learn to control it.
Well, not all of us can grow up next to the entrance to the underworld and have specific training related to that.
I didn't have specific training,
Sorry?
and I didn't grow up next to it.
You
I
grew up in
knew
a
where
temple.
it was. Did I visit it once? I didn't visit it once. My family went frequently, though. It was a part of their tour.
Hmm.
I mean, it was like a well-known thing. It's not my fault you don't know about it.
I literally arrived in this world like 2 years ago.
He's basically an infant now.
You're slacking on a lot of reading, then.
Don't tell him that I'll never see him again.
Wait, you guys can read together. That'll be cute, romantic.
You're gonna laugh. I suppose.
Charlotte doesn't exactly read the same books I do.
Well,
I have varied taste.
For sure.
Well, Charlotte, you can read your fun books, and then Zarius can read something boring.
Yeah, Charlotte like immediately like stashes away like a trashy novel.
Like an encyclopedia.
Well, I don't know. I personally think sharing stories is so much better than reading them. Why read them when you can, regale the crowds with your tales, right?
Well, sweetie, you can do that with written books, too.
But it's not the same. They're not going to get the same, feeling.
I think a lot of people got a lot of feeling from my book. Granted, enough people got the feeling that they needed to kill me because of it. But other than those people, like, everyone else thought it was, like, really good.
Well, yeah, it's the best book in Faerun.
Mitchell, you haven't read it.
Well, how do you know? Maybe I have. Maybe I've already read it.
Have you?
Maybe I have, I said.
Have you?
If I haven't gotten my hands on a copy yet, but as soon as I do. Besides, I don't need to read it to know that it's the best book in Faerun. I mean, come on now. This is Terpsichore we're talking about. And you've seen the way she is with her words, just so eloquent and articulate and, so of course her putting pen to paper is going to, her book will grace the eyes of many and evoke emotions and move hearts and mountains and all types of things, naturally.
I mean, I suppose if it was able to spur so many people to action, it's likely a well-written book.
Elsie?
Terpsy whispers to Mistral, Mistral, sweetie, you don't know how to read. You can't read the book yet.
She
get the copies.
She turns to you, like, slowly, like, her face just turns to you, and she just, like, gives you, like, the saddest, like, fucking, like, saddest fucking eyes, like, and just, like, mouths, like, the words, like, don't really even come out, but she just mouths, and she's just like, but I can, and I don't gotta read it to know the, but like she just like mouthing it, like her, you can tell what she's saying, but
it's okay. I'll teach you how to read, and that way we can read the book together.
She quickly like wipes her tears away and gives you a hug, and she whispers, and she's just like, but don't tell Zarius that I can't read. He definitely thinks I can read.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. I think everyone else still thinks you can read.
Zarius Zarius for sure knows Mistral can't read.
I know.
He got like a 25 insight check.
Oh, no, he definitely knows, but she doesn't know that. Okay, thank you.
Oh, God.
Oh, good. God, I cannot. I can't have him. He can't have that over me. Oh my God, that would end me.
He already has it over Trovis. So we have to, because I also need to teach Trovis how to read.
Oh my God, Travis. But see,
So we gotta do it like on the DL, on the down low.
yes.
So that like you're helping me teach him how to read. That way Zarius doesn't think about it.
Wait, I think I might be onto something. Maybe people that can read are actually stupid, and people that can't read are actually smart. I mean, look at Trovis, look at me. We both cannot read, but we're friggin' geniuses. Look at Zarius. He can read, and he thinks he's smart, but he's not.
I mean, you're kind of right. You're kind of wrong, but you're kind of right.
It's just a theory. Just a theory.
Zarius is just leaning over a railing, like circling a finger, that exact Scar scene from The Lion King. I'm surrounded by idiots.
Okay. She, like, quickly regains her composure as if nothing happened and just, like, looks at you all like, gosh, like, what are we waiting for?
Well, shall we go tell this man off?
Yes. I am very excited about doing that.
Wonderful. Where do we find him?
Tripsy looks at Zarius. Zarius, do you know where to
Yes.
find him? Do you know where to
Maybe.
find him?
I would like you all to consider the fact that you lambasted me for my aggression yesterday, but are suddenly thinking that honey will not capture as many flies as bitterness.
There is a very stark difference in lecturing an incompetent medium and lecturing the captain of the town guard, I will say.
I see no difference. They serve the same purpose, an illusion of safety for the populace.
No, Zarius, there is a big difference because we came in as strangers to that lady, and you were like, "Hey, we're gonna fix stuff," basically, and she was like, "No, that stuff doesn't exist because she's a liar." Well, we have proof this guy is doing wrong and doing stupid stuff. We were there when he summoned a live person.
Yeah. So, what were we gonna do to this guy again?
Charlotte said I can't punch him in the face immediately. So we have to have a stern talking to with him.
Okay.
Summoning Sage, sending her out a window. Sage, just watch the front of the inn. Let me know if you see any guards coming our way. Summoning the mind, the spellbook mind, and putting them on my shoulder and walking down to I think it's Bertrand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sounds good. All right. So yeah, you guys are looking for Ronaldo, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And as you're walking around, you do notice the same room that the seance was in before. You do notice Ronaldo in that same room, setting up candles, and folks are chatting with him and whispering to him, and he looks like he's like, looks like is having a pretty good old time talking to these people in his little room. Like, you get the vibe from what you see that these folks kind of look at him like, wow, this guy, like, he knows so much. Like, Ronaldo, he's so great, you know? And he has this, like, look on his face, like, yeah, he's just so wise, and he's just, you know, chatting with them.
I will walk in. Ronaldo, we need to have a discussion regarding what happened yesterday and your actions regarding some of the other ghosts beyond the White Lady. If the rest of you could please leave for a moment, we would appreciate it.
He opens his eyes and looks at you and looks to the folks in the room that are nearby him. And, oh yes, I absolutely. If you'll just excuse us, and he kind of like motions for the folks that he was chatting with to kind of leave the room. He kind of looks up at you guys, really nervous and concerned, big concerning.
Question for you before we go any further, and this is important. How many people that have been sacrificed have come to you, attempting to communicate?
Well, as you saw, there was just 3 folks chatting with me and asking me about, you know, when people's loved ones passed, you know, sometimes they ask me to send messages to them. Sometimes I can reach them and sometimes I can't.
I'd like to insight check that.
All right, buddy, go ahead and roll me an insight check.
That's only a 12.
All right. So, yeah, you, look at him and you're like unsure of him at first, but then you're like, okay, like maybe the way he does it is different than Terpsy, and you know, you're like, he did somehow get interference on a live person the other day, so you're also a little bit like, what if this guy just doesn't have like the best control or training, I guess. Like, he's not, like, he's able to do what he does, but like maybe he's not like a half-wit by choice. Like, maybe it's like he's trying to do the best he can, and sometimes he fails and sometimes he doesn't.
Got it. Okay. Alright. So, let me get this straight. You have been contacted by people who died. Specifically people who died from being sacrificed. And you have not been telling others that they are stuck here when they die. And just letting the sacrifices go on.
Well,
think very, very carefully about what you say next.
This is a lot. There's a lot of intricacies and details to the questions that you're asking me. I do not have any control over what the dead want to do once they're dead, and I don't have any type of powers to help them pass along or do anything, and I'm just able to speak with them sometimes, or sometimes they take control of me and they speak through me, and you know, I see the occasional spirit here and there, but I don't have anything to do with the sacrifices, and I don't know what happens to the people after they're sacrificed. I mean, I just kind of stay away from the sacrificing thing. He kind of like leans in and whispers to you, you have to be careful about what you say around here. If you don't... Too quiet.
Oh, you cut out.
You have to be careful what you say around here. If the wrong people hear you talking about the sacrifices, it could be bad. I'm just one little halfling. I can't do much about it. I am not a fan of humanoid sacrifice, but don't tell anybody I said that.
Who are the wrong people?
He kind of like he looks extremely nervous right now, looking around, and after
They are a problem for later. I am your problem now.
after you guys came in and the other people left, did you leave the door open or did you close it?
Oh, would have closed it.
Okay.
Also would have made sure not alarm. Whatever. Doesn't matter.
Gotcha.
I'll have the little red wizard stand outside the door.
Gotcha. So yeah, with that, he okay, well, you know, the speaker for one, also the nobles, the people in charge, the people in power, they seem to believe that, you know, these sacrifices are helpful to Easthaven in whatever way, but that doesn't make any damn sense.
Excellent. So, people are dying and being stuck in a town they believed they sacrificed themselves for as a result of corrupt people.
Well, I guess, I mean...
There's no guessing about this at this point. If you know it's wrong and you've told other people it's wrong as a result of speaking with the dead, there's no guessing. There's no...
Look, I'm not trying to lose my head. Okay, I'm trying to make a living here. And most of the time I just, you know, channel the white lady. You know, everyone goes crazy over, you know, what do they call it? You know, like weird local stories and stuff, you know? People, they're like, ooh, urban myth or whatever. It makes coin for me. If I go around trying to stop these sacrifices, I'll surely lose my head.
Why do you only summon the white lady?
Well, for one, she's very easy to you know, connect with. For two, I mean, people are entertained by it, I guess you could say. It's, you know, the whole story of the treasure in the lake, and what is the mystery of the white lady and her husband, and it's people are curious, and I don't know. The innkeeper pays me well for what I do, and then people tip me, and it's kind of like a, like come to the inn, and it's like a attraction, I suppose you could say. He looks very nervous.
Wow, what an absolute awful use of your gift.
Well, a gift, I guess, if you want to call it that, or a curse or something. It's not been easy dealing with and living with this ever since I was a child. It's, you guys wouldn't understand.
I do understand the responsibility that comes with having access to greater power than most. You should recognize it as well. If you have the ability to help, why aren't you helping?
He already said it is. He doesn't want to lose his head.
I don't want to lose my head. I want to keep a roof over it, and I want to be able to eat and, not live out in the cold, and I'm not always able. Sometimes sometimes the things that the dead say people don't want to hear, and then they don't want to pay, and it doesn't matter what kind of good I've done or who I've contacted for them, and it was terrifying as a child in my whole life, being pestered by spirits, and my parents, they abandoned me for it. Said I must have been cursed or something. And I was just trying to use this curse or whatever to stay alive.
I see that. Well, I do hope you realize that this is a power that not everyone is given, and it's far from a curse. I can see how you would think otherwise given your circumstances, but it does give you an insight that other people here do not have. And with that insight, I would hope that you would help us when it comes to the time where we put a stop to these executions. You at the very least know that this is wrong.
I mean, any sane person should know that what they're doing is wrong. I mean,
I'm sure there are plenty of sane people who've been convinced otherwise by their leadership that what they're doing is in their best interest. The people in power, they're supposed to be able to trust it, but obviously here that's not the case. And I don't think that they're ignorant or stupid for not having the same level of insight that you have. You have a gift. We need to use our gifts responsibly in order to protect people who don't have that same luxury.
And I will tell you, the spirits that I talked to about this, how we found out about this and all, they're all very much not happy that you are not talking to them.
well, they always kind catch me at the worst times. Like, I had one who I was trying to use the restroom and he came to talk to me and I'm like, buddy, can't you see I'm busy right now? And sometimes I'm in the middle of sleeping in the middle of the night and, just pop on my bed and, like, let's just wake Ronaldo up. He doesn't need any sleep, or, maybe I'm in the middle of doing a job and, people have paid for the whole white lady spiel and then they show up and they're like, hey, buddy, hey, and how it makes it so difficult to do, just everything is so much more difficult.
Ronaldo, this sounds to me a little bit like excuses. Surely you're not busy every moment of the day to not spare a word for these people. You should understand that you are likely the only person who can see them or talk to them, and you're ignoring them?
Well, when they pop up and in the most inopportune times, I shoo them away and...
Yes, I can imagine you would not be very, conversationally ready if you're doing your business or sleeping. But surely you can't be busy every moment of the day.
Yeah, but it's like once I shoo them away, they don't come back. They leave me alone after that. So
I think you need to be a bit more patient, and they need to respect your boundaries a bit more.
I wish I didn't have this at all. Why couldn't I have just been a regular halfling?
We can't pick our gifts, unfortunately.
What, do you all talk to the dead too?
No, I cannot see them. Fipsicle can, but that is a recent development, yes?
Relatively recent. Yes. Not like, oh yeah, Terpsy, like, never ever had to deal with the dead before. But I mean, it's kind of like, it's realistically the first time that it's like, oh, hey, a dead person. That's cool. Let's have a conversation.
So what do you want me to do then?
If the time comes that we... Oh, go on.
No, go ahead.
If the time comes that we need to call on your services, whether that be for calling a spirit forth to talk, because while it seems that you have different gifts, are people able to... We were able to hear the one you were speaking with. What would happen if you were to contact someone who's been sacrificed?
Well, I've not tried to, like, intentionally reach out to people who've been sacrificed. Like I said, I'm trying to keep my head here.
I know that, but if we were to... We are relatively powerful people. If we were able to protect you while you do this contacting...
Yeah, I could probably do it.
Alright.
I've seen faces around. It's haunting. He has like fucking bags under his eyes. Like, dude looks like he just does not sleep well.
Yes, especially in an area as populated as this one.
Are there any priests here in Easthaven? Anyone who can put the souls of the dead to rest?
There's... Everyone kind of just follows their own... some people follow their whatever different deities, gods, goddesses, what have you. There's no real, like, organized place of... There's not, like, a specific temple here.
I see.
I mean, especially with this whole Frostmaiden thing, people have been, you know, kind of like, you know, like worship the Frostmaiden, and you know, like we should, you know, like we do the sacrifices, you know, don't piss her off, you know.
Except she doesn't care about the sacrifices, and they're being done for nothing, and you and the guard captain don't seem to care enough to try. I understand fear. I do. I get it. You don't want to be involved. Don't want to rock the boat.
Well, the guard captain and me are very different. She's a... She's a real bitch.
Oh.
I was about to say witch with a B in
What?
front of it, but you just came right out and said it. Okay.
Why do you think this exactly?
Oh gosh, she's... I mean, look at her. She's so damn righteous and, you know, like, you know, celebrated. And oh, it's guard captain. She's so great, you know, and her face is just so smug. I can't stand it. And everyone talks about how, oh, like she's so pretty, but no, she's so fucking smug. And
Stare at her face a lot, do we?
no, I wouldn't want to stare at that ugly mug. And she's so tall and freakishly tall.
Insight check.
Yeah, Charlotte's
Is
like,
this-
Pay attention.
That's a natural one. That's a 7 tall.
Yeah.
Is this man, you know, a little enamored with the guard captain, trying to climb a tall mountain?
Zarius.
So, 20? How much is that?
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Charlotte sees all.
23, actually.
So Zarius, you got a natural one, you said.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's critical
Terpsy,
fails on skill checks,
you wanna roll insight, girl?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay, go roll me an insight.
But yeah, it's only a 7, so total.
It's a 5.
Terpsy and Zarius, you guys are like fucking convinced. You're just like, oh, this guy like hates that guard with like every like inch of his being, right? Let's see what Mistral thinks. Actually, let's have her insight check. Mistral and Charlotte think they are just like, they both look at him and then they both like look at each other and they both give each other this look like, oh shit, like this is not hate, this is love, like like this guy is fucking infatuated. Like they just share this look and then they look back at him, and as he continues like shit talking, like she's so tall, she got stupid long legs, and just going on and on and on about like the stuff that he dislikes about her. Yeah, Charlotte and Mistral, she kind of like, you guys look and then look back at him and look, like keep like her, like giving, she gives you a look like, do you hear this shit? Like
Charlotte looks very like, oh my god, like unimpressed. Like this man's so like convinced, like so out of touch with like even his own emotions, that he's like convinced himself that he like has a weird crush on her.
yeah.
Very in character for Terpsy not to realize this. How fucking long did it take for her to be like, ah shit, I like Mistral, and continue to do nothing?
Yeah.
Girl.
So it's pretty funny, yeah. It's and he just keeps going on and on, like she's tall, she's got yeah. Sorry, Zari. So
I just love that
Her head,
it,
like snaps her fingers, like, all right, let's get back on track.
in game time, it took took Zarius and Charlotte like a whole goddamn year.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, that's pretty great. Yeah.
I mean, in like actual time, it took them probably a little over a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they'd been traveling with each other previous.
Yeah, you
For a
guys
while.
traveled for
yeah.
2 years
Yeah, for
together.
a while, actually, so more than more than
Yeah. So much time.
Hilarious.
idiots. I love them.
Right? So yeah, he's just she got stupid long legs. Have you seen how long they are and how tall she is? Like, gosh. No one needs to be that tall. And, everybody is just always talking about how great she is, and she's not really that great.
Does the longer he go on, the Zarius or Terpsichore pick up anything else?
Nah, bro. Like, you guys are just like, you're like,
Yeah, he really hates her, man.
yeah, the longer he goes on, you're like, damn, this fucker really hates her. Like, Jesus. Like we get it, dude. Like, you don't gotta keep going, but he just keeps going until you stop him.
I agree. She's awful. All right.
Right? She is. She should get off her stupid high horse, right?
Indeed. Totally.
Alright, if we're done waxing poetic about her long legs and face, I was asking for more substantial information as to why you two were different.
Well, she's a guard, she's she's got to uphold the laws of the town and what have you. I'm just a shitty little halfling trying to make it by each day, and trying to just make enough to get by.
You're not shitty. You can talk to dead people. That's quite a unique skill. I've literally only met 2 people that can do it.
It's not as great as you think it is, buddy. It's if I could give it away, I'd give it to you. Trust me, you could have it.
Oh, I mean, well, I'd probably take it. Terpsichore can use it to learn new skills in a single day. It's amazing.
I could do it to learn new skills in 30 minutes.
Excuse me, even quicker. Look at that.
Yeah, well, see, I can't do that.
Have you ever tried?
Yeah, don't tell him he's good at what he's doing. He summoned a living guy.
Yeah, see...
I mean, that was very useful.
That happened. That's never happened before. And clearly something went wrong, and... you know how messy that situation was to clean up, and my reputation almost got ruined.
You could ask Terpsichore for training, I suppose, but I don't know anyone else who can help you control this thing.
I don't know if I want to get...
I think if you take an approach that's less adversarial to these spirits and is more so working with them, you'll get a lot farther with your gift. You seem to think of them as some sort of annoyance, but do your shows not bring, I don't know, wonder and joy to everyone that attends them? They seem to be very interested in that sort of gift.
Yeah, it's, like I said, it's kind of hit or miss. It's kind of hit or miss, so...
Well, I'm sure you have the non-believers, but...
we'll... Maybe I should just go to a different town. This town is just so...
Oh, yeah, go to a different town. Maybe you'll do better there.
Yeah, maybe... Just...
There are always going to be people who die, unfortunately.
Yeah, but
need
maybe in a place that I
learn.
won't be so at risk for losing my head.
Oh, Kekonig, Kedinevol, Brennan's alright. Definitely don't go to Targos. That place will murder you almost instantly.
Oh yeah, only idiots want to live in
Why?
Targos.
Why are we sending him away if he has potential to help us?
Oh, I don't think he should go away, but if he feels the need to run, I understand that. But, fundamentally, you're going to have a problem wherever you go, and you should learn to deal with it where you can do the most good, which is here.
Although, if you do want to leave, I would recommend Bremen because they have the lake monster protecting them now.
Lake monster. They have the lake
Yeah.
monster, and that's a good thing. The lake monster.
Yeah. The lake monster is a good thing. It's our friend.
You're friends with the lake monster.
Yeah.
Her name's Poppy.
You talked. You named the you what?
Her name is
She
Poppy.
named herself, and yes, her name is Poppy.
Oh, God.
And she's our friend.
It doesn't take a special gift to talk to the lake monster, actually. She can speak common.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Bremen, I guess it is.
You know, perhaps you two could bond over that.
Over what?
Having an
Your
ability.
thinking abilities.
Yeah. And one that you never wanted.
Oh, yeah, I suppose. Lake monster sounds kind of terrifying, but, they have any good taverns there? This place. They got one place, it kind of sucks.
They do. So, the Black-Bearded Brother is actually a very good tavern.
Okay, it sounds pretty dwarvish.
It is.
Dwarves are cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, they don't have needlessly long legs, like. And he just like has like.
She's like, oh, not the shit again. Like, this look on her face. Like, I'm about to take psychic damage.
Okay, so what? Just stay here until you guys need my help or something, and then get the hell out of Dodge if things go south.
That's the plan. And in the meantime, if you would like to work with your gift rather than see it as a hindrance.
Bless you.
Sorry.
The sharp cutoff.
Right.
It's a lot of fun. Get to continue with your gift, you know. You're just you know, eventually you'll just like vibe and you'll see dead people and living people and it'll be fun.
Yes. Take a page out of Terpsichore's book. She views her gift as something that's fun.
Okay. Well, I'll give that a go, I guess. I mean, it's better than what's been the plan so far, so yeah. Okay, I'll do that. Besides, I've got at least another month here safe. So, yeah. I mean, the wizard's on the chopping block this month, so it buys me time until the next full moon. You know, before they shut the gates and all that.
Indeed. Try to talk to the people who have died. Try to help them. I think you'll get better sleep overall.
I'll see what I can do.
When we have to convince the town that what they're doing is wrong, we will need your help. I hope your courage does not fail you, but I will plan for the worst if you cannot summon yourself.
Okay. Okay. Did you need anything else from me?
Terpsichore?
Uh, one of the ghosts wanted me to punch you, but I don't think Charlotte will let me do that anymore. So I think we're good.
Okay, well, thanks for not punching me.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Oh, man.
It's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's been like this since day one. It's been a lot every single day.
Imagine going to every town and finding out this is the same problem everywhere.
Yeah.
Alright, well, in the meantime, try not to implode while we get this thing sorted. If you do feel stressed, perhaps just think of the guard captain and happy thoughts.
Why would he think of the guard captain? He hates her.
Serious.
Yeah,
Are
why
you
would
that?
with happy thoughts?
Terpsichore, are you... He very clearly has a fixation on her that I'm not prepared to unpack.
Well, I need to get ready for the seance of the White Lady, so there's not anything else you need from me. I do have a job I've gotta do.
I have a question. If you had to pick one person who you think is responsible for continuing the sacrifices, who would it be?
Like, the person in charge?
Yes.
Well, the speaker's in charge. Every town has a speaker, and they're the ones in charge, so...
Yes, but I have learned that some speakers are less in charge than others. So, who speaks to the speaker or for him, or is he or she truly in charge?
I mean, I know he's got people who, you know, like he's got... I don't really know the technical terms about it. I'm not, you know, real political or anything. Assistants,
Take it badly.
assistants, or whatever their titles are. People who help him out.
Sub speakers.
People, trusted people that he, you know, like, this is a big town and there's a lot of different things that have
Trusted
to
advisors.
be trusted advice.
Confidants.
Yeah, he's got like a group of those, you know. But as far as it seems like the speaker is the guy in charge.
Understood. Thank you.
Yeah.
Alright then, we will be out of your hair. Prepare for your usual. But do take the advice that we've given you to heart, please.
Okay, I will. And yeah, well, I'll catch you later. You hear like some people like knocking on the door, like...
This man is gonna be packed up and gone by the time we get back to the inn.
Demoralized yellow.
Yeah, I don't know. He's stuck in between a rock and a hard place, but at the same time, he could also like quietly tell people what's going on. I feel like.
Yeah, this feels like a lot of excuses and bullshit to me.
Mhm.
Yeah. But then again, dealing with every person who you might know coming to tell you that they're stuck here might be a little terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. Is there anything else you'd like to do? He kind of shoos you out. So it goes back to setting up things. People kind of give you some looks like they kind of like looks like what the hell? Like you're like we're trying to see the seance and like what the heck, guys? Like they'll kind of give you looks like sheesh, like give you all kind of like irritated looks, and y'all head back out. Sage didn't notice any unusual guard movements.
All right.
Yeah, nothing unusual. So that was kind of that with Sage.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. And
Man,
just as
sorry, go ahead.
no, you're fine. And just as you guys are leaving the room of the seance guy, Ronaldo, Terpsy, that's when you see Shirley like running just through the door, and she runs up to you, and she looks like fucking scared and panicked, and she like goes to grab onto your shoulders, so you feel like these cold hands on you, and she looks up at you like fucking just terror in her eyes. I found him! He's outside town! You should go quickly. And that's where we're gonna end the session.
Oh, cliffhanger! How dare you?
Devil.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Called for. Cruel and unusual punishment.
Our boy.
I learned from the best, John. Court.
I regret nothing.
I don't get it.
Yeah, okay, you don't get it. You both have DM'd for me and left me on cliffhangers in the past. So consider it my gift to you.
Vampires begin eating the townsfolk, and that's where we're going to end the session.
Yeah. John, your fucking cliffhangers for Saltmarsh are countless, so...
You're not wrong.
Yeah, don't even get me started there. Do not even get me started there, my guy.
Look, I can do it to you, but that doesn't mean you have to subject me to it.
No,
Just because you do doesn't mean you're allowed to do back to me.
I
I
think
mean, you're allowed to.
I mean,
You
I think
don't
it's
have
like
to.
it's like a cliffhanger. Like, join us next week for what's gonna happen next on Rime of the Frost Minstrel. He's just outside of town, guys. Shirley looks scared. Don't know why. I'm sure everything's fine.
Yeah.
He's so handsome.
He's terrifyingly handsome.
He's freakishly beautiful.
Yeah, I'm sure that's it.
God,
That's all it
the
is.
truth.
That's all it is. I'm sure.
I'm gonna die.
Yeah, I'm sure that's all it is, right? I'm sure. This is
Definitely.
Icewind Dale. Like, it's fine. Everything's
Good things
fine.
happen here.
Yeah, great
Everything's sunny in
things.
Icewind Dale.
Yeah,
I mean, to
everything's...
be fair, good things have been happening here thanks to us, but
Oh yeah, but that's when we make good things happen.
yeah.
So yeah, with that, let's go ahead and we're gonna get a raid in. Thank you to my lovely players, and thank you to our lovely viewers out there for joining us this awesome Saturday. We're gonna go ahead and get a raid on over to Joe Venom, friend of mine who also is streaming some D&D, who is also a DM, fellow DM. And yeah, we will see you guys next Saturday at 6 p.m. PST, and we'll find out what Shirley is so freaking out about. Yeah, it'll be a great time. And you can join us during the week for some Final Fantasy Savage Raid if you like. So take care, and we will see you next time.
Thank you for watching, and thank you, great DM.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you, guys.